So good morning to all. Today's we discussion about the axilla, which is a very important point of view in literature and also the practical point of view. So first of all, so what do you mean by axilla? First of all, synonym of the axilla. Synonym of the axilla is armpit. Okay. The synonym of the axilla is an armpit, and location, or we can say that the definition of axilla location. Axilla, it is located in the upper part of the arm and the chest wall. So axilla located in the upper part of the arm and the chest wall. Okay. Now, what is the shape of the axilla? It is generally looking like a pyramid in shape. So you can see that these are the made by me, in which all the wall, including the apex and base, are including. So first of all, in front we see that these are the anterior wall. Similarly, in posterior, these are the posterior wall. Similarly, in lateral side, they are the lateral wall. In the middle side, they are the medial wall. And back, these are the base. And front, these are the apex. So these are the boundaries of the axilla. So what are the boundaries? So it is formed by, first, these are the apex, second, base, third, anterior wall, fourth, posterior wall, fifth, lateral wall, sixth, medial wall. So these are the boundaries. Once again, I repeat: first, these are apex; second, base; third, anterior wall; fourth, posterior wall; fifth, lateral wall; and last one, medial wall. Now we study one by one. First of all, we study the apex. First of all, the apex. So you can see that in front they are open, they are known as the apex. So which is medially and to the root of the neck. In is also known as the cervicoaxillary canal. Cervicoaxillary canal. Why? Because it is between the cervical and axillary. So first of all, it is not an why name is apex, but it is look like a truncate. Truncate means truncates which are not sharp or not pointed. Clear? The synonym of the apex, cervicoaxillary canal, and the second one, the shape there, it is look like a truncate, which means that it is not a sharp and not a pointed. Now the boundary of the apex, it is formed by one side so just imagine this is the scapula, this is the clavicle, this is the first rib. So in between this part, is known as the apex of the axilla. Here once again I pointed out, in upper they are formed by the scapula, in medial side they are formed by the outer border of the first rib, in lateral they are formed by the clavicle. Okay, now the move to the second part, they are the base. So from this figure we can know that the posterior part are the base, which is downward, and it is formed by the fat and superficial axillary fascia. It is bonded by front, behind and medially. Front by the anterior axillary fold, behind they are the posterior axillary fold, and medially they are the lateral aspect of chest wall. So once again I told the base of the axilla, it is downward, it is situated like that, it is downward, okay, and it is formed by the fat and superficial axillary fascia. Similarly, it is bonded from front, anterior axillary fold, behind, posterior axillary fold, and medially the lateral aspect of the chest wall. Okay. Now up to till we discussing about the we talk about the walls of the axilla. First of all, the anterior wall. So from the anterior, these are the anterior wall. So it is formed by mainly three parts. First, we have the pectoralis major. Second, pectoralis minor. And third, we have the clavipectoral fascia. Similarly, other walls, it is also having the three features. This in anterior wall, three main structure present. These are the pectoral major, pectoral minor, and clavipectoral fascia. Now move to the posterior part. These are the posterior part. Second, these are the posterior wall. Latissimus dorsi. Teres major and subscapular. Now we talk about posterior wall of the axilla. It is formed by the latissimus dorsi, second teres major, and third subscapular. Now move to the medial wall. Now the medial wall, it is formed by the upper four ribs, which includes intercostal muscles. Okay. Second one, that are serratus anterior. Which part? Upper part. Okay. Medial upper four ribs, which include the intercostal muscles. Similarly, in lower part, it is formed by the upper part of the serratus anterior. Now the lateral wall is formed by the upper part of the humerus coracobrachialis muscle and short head of biceps brachii. Now the medial wall, these are the medial wall, which is formed by the upper part of the humerus, including the coracobrachialis and short head of the biceps brachii. Okay. Now the contents of the axilla, up to till we discussing about the boundary. Now the contents of the axilla. It is very important as point of the exam. So first of all, the content we remember with the mnemonics means axilla, where A and X stand for the axillary arteries and its branches. Axillary veins and its tributaries. AX. Now from I, infraclavicular part of brachial plexus. Now L for the lymph nodes, which are 5 in numbers. Which one? These are the anterior, posterior, lateral, central, and apical. Now the L for the long thoracic and intercostobrachial nerves, and A for the axillary fat and areolar tissue. So to remembering the contents of axilla, we use the term axilla. For AX stand from the axillary arteries and its branches, axillary vein and its tributaries. I for the infraclavicular part of the brachial plexus. L for the lymph node, which are divided into the 5 parts: anterior, posterior, lateral, central, and apical. L for the long thoracic and intercostobrachial nerve, and the last A for the axillary fat and areolar tissue. Axillary artery, we know that it is divided into the 3 parts. Which one? The first part, second part, and third part. From first part, the branch given to the superior thoracic artery. Thoracic artery. From second part, it has two branches. First, thoracoacromial artery, and second one, lateral thoracic artery. Now the third part is divided into the three parts. The first, anterior circumfemoral artery, second one, posterior circumfemoral artery, and third one, subscapular arteries. Stop. Now the clinical anatomy of axilla. Clinical anatomy of axilla. For the practical, first of all, they are the malignant growth. Which are tumor-like. Second one are the boil. Third one, they are abscesses. And fourth one for the examination. Examinations of axillary artery. So first of all, the malignant growth, because of the lymph node, we are already seeing the lymph node is divided into the 5 parts, mean apicus, central, anterior, posterior, and lateral. Due to the huge lymph node supply of lymphatic, there is a possibility of the malignant growth. Boils, due to the boils in it, we use the DO, and these part having a sebaceous gland more in amount. So from this part, there formation of the boils. Due to the boils, if untreatment for a long time, there formation of the abscesses, in which we drain the pus which are collected into the folds of the axilla. Now the examination of the axillary artery is very important. If there is a hemorrhage or in the distal part of the forearm, we compress the axillary artery for stopping the bleeding. Okay. So these much are related to the axilla, in which we discussion about their introduction, its definition, its locations, its part, means their wall, boundaries, or it contain its clinical anatomy related to the axilla, which are useful for the practical point of view. And this topic is very useful for the UG and PGs. And any doubt regarding their axilla point or axilla related, please subscribe my channels or myself, Dr. Ravi Kumar. Is there any doubt? Please comment on my subscribe channels.